Hey there, I wanted to go over the course syllabus with everyone. I'm not going to go over it in great detail because I figured you're adults and can read it for yourself. The first thing you'll see is that I would like you to email me through Canvas and not through my .fgc.edu account. I'll check my Canvas account multiple times a day, so I will be able to get to you a lot quicker that way. As you can see, I live in Chicago, and I will not be able to meet with you in person, but I can meet with you through the phone or through Skype. So just send me your phone number if you want to have a conversation. Next thing I want to mention is that the required texts are required. You do need these 3 books. I have designed the class so it's not super expensive as much as I could. The textbook, of course, is going to be the most expensive, but it is the most important one to have. You're going to need a notebook used exclusively for the class as a journal. You need to have computer access to Canvas, as it's an online course. That's a no-brainer. And then you'll also want to have a way of timing yourself. And you'll also want a way of taking pictures of your journals, because you will be writing in your journals longhand. I also recommend a good dictionary and some sort of grammar and punctuation guide. All right, so scrolling through course description, we're going to go through a couple different things in here. We're going to talk about the idea of images in writing and how writers write with 5 senses. We're going to talk about voice and how writers create a recognizable style. They use specific kinds of syntax and vocabulary, attitudes and tones, things like that. We'll talk about how character is created and how characters can be people. We'll talk about setting, how you can create an effective setting. We'll talk about story, of course, how you can create an arc with your work, how you can create a scene, how things will be a cause and effect relationship with what happened before it, how an effective scene takes what's happening right now or how things have been for a while, which is called the status quo, and how it breaks it. And then we'll talk about genre and structure. Genre here, we're talking about nonfiction, fiction, poetry. Genre can also be part of something inside. So like a certain genre within a poetry could be a haiku. We'll work with these elements as writers. We're going to work at them at home in private, and then we'll do some work online together as a group in terms of workshopping each other's work. Here are course objectives and outcomes for what we want to do. I'd like you to read that over. Through here. And then, of course, this is a college-level writing skills course, meaning you will be writing a lot. One thing I would like to reiterate to you right now, right off the bat, this is not an easy pass class. I know a lot of people take creative writing thinking, oh, I'm just going to take it and wing it, and as long as I do the work, it's an A. It's not really how this works. So in my class, you will be required to write a lot. If I take this very seriously, I have a degree in this, I spent a lot of money getting a degree in this. And so I take it very seriously, and I want you to take it seriously as well. So I treat everyone as if they are a writer in this course and not necessarily just someone taking a class to try to pass an easy class or something like that. I know that happens, and just right off the bat, that's not how I behave in this course. I will expect a lot of writing from you. I expect a little bit of reading from you as well. I tried to structure it so you're not reading a ton of things a week, but I do think that it's important as writers to be readers as well. So you will have some readings. You will be required to write at least 3 journal entries a week. You will write them by hand. We'll go over that in a minute. Class rules and policies, of course, are right here. And attendance, this is an online course. There is no actual attendance, but it will behoove you to check in every couple days, at least 3 times a week, I would say. Just check in, see if any announcements have popped up or anything like that. Something might happen. If I ever extend a due date, I'll send it out as an announcement. Note that I will never make a due date period shorter. So if I say something's due on a Sunday, I will not make it due on a Saturday instead. I will only push the date further out down the road if I ever change a due date. So just note that. MLA style and format. We'll be using that in this course. All drafts must be typed. Use MLA style and be double-spaced. There are 3 typefaces that you can use. They are right here. You might think I'm being silly mentioning that, but people send things in the wrong style all the time. I have a how to format your paper on Canvas. It's in your files, it's under the first week module. Opened up, look at it. It's not rocket science. It's literally all in there laid out for you. You could use that as your template, and you could just replace things with your name and the correct date, and then just use that to start typing. It's already formatted for you. I don't know why you wouldn't do it that way. You must have Microsoft Word, and everything must be submitted in a Microsoft Word document. I will not accept the excuse I have a Mac and can't submit this way, because you know what? You can get Microsoft Office Suite from the FGCU bookstore for very inexpensively. Canvas. You must make sure that you have access to Canvas. You're obviously viewing this through Canvas, so I assume that you have figured that one out. Technology statement. Make sure you label things the right way. Don't submit the wrong thing and then try to, resubmit. Make sure you have all that stuff under control before you submit. Course setup. All right, so there will be a module every week. So when you open your course up, it should have the module, and they should be listed by week. Under each week, you'll see a couple different options. There will be read tabs, view tabs, submit tabs, and workshop tabs. Under the read tab, there will be either a title header letting you know where in the book and which book to read, or there will be a document attached to it. So if you click on it, it might open up to a document that you can open up. Under the View tab, there's going to be lectures and PowerPoint and YouTube. Make sure you turn the PowerPoint into the view mode, because I likely will record myself talking over slides for lectures. Submit is where you'll submit all of your writing assignments and also your journals, and your midterm and final exam will also be under there. Yes, there is a midterm and a final exam. That is mandated by the school. And then you'll submit your workshops, your rough drafts, under what's called the workshop function. And you will workshop each other's work. Plagiarism. Please read my plagiarism policy. Please understand it. Please email me if you have questions. I take plagiarism very seriously. If I catch you plagiarizing, you will be reported. Questions! If you have questions, email me. Email me, please. I'm here to help you. I want all of you to be successful writers. I want all of you to feel very creative. I want all of you to feel like you got something out of this class, and that's why I'm available for you. As often as you need to email me, you can. Read my incomplete statement. Note that the last day to withdraw from class without academic penalty is Friday, October 19th. I understand that things can happen, and sometimes life gets in the way, so sometimes that's some people's option, and you know what? That's okay. It happens. Note on deadlines. I'm not going to accept silly excuses like my computer wasn't working. You have options. You can submit stuff ahead of time. You shouldn't be waiting until the last minute to submit your work. Note that because you do have to take photos for some stuff, it might take a while to upload into Canvas, so you might have to upload a couple hours early. Here's all university statements. They're required on everyone's syllabi. You can read through those. Breakdown of assignments and grading. I grade on a point system, 1,000 points total. So everything you have equals 1,000 points. How do you get your final grade? You just move the decimal place 1 point over. Creative assignments are worth 405 points, or 40.5% of your grade. Journals, 15%, or 150 points. Workshops, 12%, or 120 points. Exams, 175, or 17.5%. And your e-portfolio, which is your final project, 15% of your grade, or 150 points. We'll go over the assignments. So basically, you're going to have 4 major creative writing assignments for the class, and you will have to revise them after workshopping. So what you'll do is you turn in a rough draft. Your teammates, you'll have 6 or 7 teammates, and you will revise theirs. You will ask questions. You will let them know what's working. They'll do the same thing for you. They're pretty structured because last semester I got some pretty minuscule workshops, and I think these are really important. I think they really help your fellow writers learn how to become better writers. And so the idea is you want to help them get an A on their assignment, and they should want to help you get an A on your assignment. Journals, you'll keep a physical journal. You'll make at least 3 entries a week. 6 times in a semester, you'll upload a picture of all of your journal entries on the due date. There's 6 per assignment, so you'll do this 12 times. I'm sorry, you'll do 6 times, but you'll have 12 weeks of journals. Each week, you will type up one of your journal and submit that along with the photographed one. To be a writer, writing every day is really important, or as close to every day as possible is really important. So that's the reason why I do this. It really helps. The days that I do this, I am a much better writer those days, and the days that I don't do a journal, or I skip a couple days of just writing in general, it takes me a while to get back into it when I finally do. So you'll want to make sure that you are writing a lot. I will require you to take a photo of each journal entry, and you have to submit that all in one file for me. You'll see instructions on how to do that in week 2. Workshops we talked about, these are really important. E-portfolio at the end of the semester, basically I'm going to ask you to revise everything that you did in terms of your 4 major assignments. You'll also have to write a couple new things, as well as a reflection of your writing. And then your exams, there'll be a midterm and a final exam. Here's my grading scale. You'll notice that I do a B+, a B-, and a C+. Here's why. I think if you get 900 to 1,000 points in this course, you're doing awesome. I think that is definitely worth an A. B+, is, you were almost there. You were almost at an A, but, it's still just not as exceptional as A work is. Maybe you weren't being helpful to your fellow teammates during workshops. And so sometimes that can drag people down. Sometimes people that don't do their journals, they end up getting a B+ or a B, even if they do everything else almost perfectly because of that. So think about that. But a B+ is weighted a little higher than a B is. A B-, I think that everyone should, aim to be in the B range, even though a C is an average grade. I think everyone should aim to be above average, and everyone should aim to be at least in the B range or the A range. A B- is worth a little bit less than a B is, but that's also because you aren't putting in the same quality of work. I think that, to put in great quality of work, you deserve that higher grade. The B+, B-, C+, an A- system is pretty standard at FGCU, so I'm sure you'll see a lot of your other professors doing that. I do a C+ because I think that a C is average. I think a C+ is saying, you were just a little bit above the median of the C, and it's just a little bit better. And so I think that, or a little bit, more work has gone into it. And so that's kind of like, sort of like a reward. It's kind of like, you don't deserve the full C, you deserve a little bit more. Now, for me, it's just the points that make this up. If you get an 899 in the class, I do not round up to a 900. You will get a B+. Do not send me an email asking to round your grade up, because I will not round it up. So just notice that, I really, really, really expect people to, from the get-go, to really put in hard work. My goal is for everyone to get an A, but that has to be your goal too. So you don't want to just rest on your laurels and, not put in the work, okay? All right, so that's how I grade my class. That is it for the syllabus. I'm sorry that took 13 minutes. I hope that you are still awake. All right, you can go ahead and go on to the next slide.